What's up, mi gente? Welcome back to another adventure of Rican. I am Mo.
I am Meals on Wheels Lou.
Meals on wheels. Dude, man. Today I just got paid the hot a very good compliment today.
Really
I gotta give a shout out to the Duras Sisters podcast because
nice.
they were there at Star Trek Long Island where I was volunteering, and
Okay.
I got a like I say a unique, different perspective, because I'm usually the guy that goes and pays. We go to the cons, we pay, we look around, we see the cosplayers and stuff like that, and we get involved. We get into our nerdy self. But when you're on the other side of it, the organizers, the people who help the entertainers go from point A to point B for security purposes or help with them, water this or water that. I got to get the unique perspective of learning what it is on the other side of the table. And to tell you the truth, for my second year in a row, I have had nothing but a blast from both times. And with a unique opportunity to actually not just be a volunteer and help people with the pictures, but I was actually given an opportunity to be part of the guest services, in which I then worked directly with the entertainers themselves. Like I picked them up whenever they do their photo shoots, or if they needed anything, boom, I'm there to take care of that for them. And so during that time, one of the Duras sisters was in line, and she was getting her photo up with Melissa Navia. And, we conversed because people went online, and the last thing you want to do is have them like, yeah. No, you want to engage with them. So each person that came, I engaged with them, in a fun way. So that way it's not like, oh, come on. No, because it just can get that way. And then there are people
Right.
like, they say it's like sometimes they're a little bit above and beyond, and you have to find some way to manage it. But, I always kept it with a lighthearted attitude, very, very fun loving. So that way, when they get in there, they do their thing, they get out, and then I make sure that they get their stuff. And I remember that she had a podcast right across from me, and then she had to do a panel. And I'm like, this woman's like back and forth doing stuff. And I was like, here's a picture. I was like, you know what? I'm going to take it over to her, and then brought it over and made sure. It's like, did your sister get the picture? Great. And we chatted a couple of times. I went in to, try and get something for myself and come back because it was busy and crazy. But the fact that my boy, oh my God, I'm trying to remember his name now. He's from my Star Trek group. Rick Mason. Rick, thank you. Thank you for sending me that link and the heads up on it. Sorry, I was having a senior moment, but not remembering your name, But to tell you the truth, it's like I'm glad he sent that over because, at the end of the day, you feel good about what you do. But then when you hear someone give praise to you and say thank you for the things that you did and what they consider being above and beyond, that really fills with a kind of joy inside of me that I was like, damn, that was good. I look forward more now. The next time they call me, I always say, hell yeah, I want to be there and then have that same experience again and, have that same fun that I had for now, 2 years in a row. It was great. So thank you, Duras sisters. The pleasure was all mine in helping you enjoy your time there. And if you're there next year, hope to see you soon. Okay. Until then, live long and prosper. Now, Bojinche time, because I don't know about you, but did you see the latest episode of The Acolytes?
Yes, I did. Before we start, spoiler alert: if
Hmm.
you didn't watch it after this program. After you watch us, but we will be messing it up for you right now.
Oh yeah, we're gonna mess it up. I'm telling you right
Yeah.
now. Cover your ears, go into the next room. I don't care. I'm gonna tell you, and you will
Yes.
listen. So,
What did you think? I
hmm.
I I only liked how they picked it up right at the very end. Who do you think that guy is underneath that mask?
Well, I'm pretty sure it was the guy hanging upside down. That's my feeling about
Yes,
because
that's what I thought too.
there are moments that he comes in and then he comes across as either the Sith itself or his apprentice.
Yes,
And the way he speaks to her, like it's like a duality. It's like one moment he's being clowny or whatever, and the next moment he's reminding her, you do have to kill the Wookiee. I'm like,
Yeah, and how do you kill him? How do you kill him
without a
without
weapon.
weapons? And
I'm like,
yes,
okay, it's like,
somebody wrote it was Batman.
oh yeah, it was Batman. That was
Yeah,
funny because in the climactic scene where he finally appears, the Sith, right? It reminded me of Godzilla Final Wars. That very end boss scene where Godzilla uses his ray to stop the big meteorite from coming. So boom, it explodes, and then all around him is nothing but kind of a crater. And he's the only one there, and he's just standing there like, yeah, badass. And then in the background, you see this thing lowering all slowly right behind him, just like the Sith did, just slowly lowering himself. And then I was like, wait, I mean, it's quite an entrance, but I've never seen, a
yeah.
Sith float into a scene before. I've seen them, run, jump high,
And
float. And you're like, yo,
whoever this person is underneath that mask, he seems very powerful.
seems.
Yeah,
Seems the understatement, man. My man did what we call a baby Boricua smack to the girl. It's like,
yeah,
salte de medio, hold that with two fingers.
yeah,
Boom.
yeah, yeah.
Send
And
her, I
then he
mean,
threw all.
and she didn't just like fall to the ground. No, he lifted her booty up from the air, wee across the other
Yes,
side. And then when these guys with their lightsabers, they're coming charging like, oh. I was like, here you come. And then he just goes like he just all he had to do was go and blew them all away, bro. And I'm like,
yeah,
what? I'm like,
yeah,
yo,
man.
I said, you in trouble. Like, I thought for a moment, like maybe what, 5-1 odds, and some of these guys are masters, so we're gonna have ourselves a good battle. And I'm like, nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't even say 5-1 in the Man in Black because he just blew him away.
Yeah, man.
Was that
Yeah,
their
man. Cause
version of a butt lift? Hell yeah. Yo, all of them
either that
did
or
not
that
did
was
not touch ground when they got blown. They all left the ground, bro, with
that was
one
their
smack.
version of that was their version of a BJ, and I'm not talking about the BJ store. But
Mm,
anyway,
this is true, bro.
yeah,
This was
because
not a
that was
happy
yeah,
ending for any one
that
of them.
that was a real BJ because BJ's is false advertising anyway. I've looked everywhere in that aisle. But anyway,
This is true, and I'm like, but here's the thing, right? I'm looking today, and I'm reading the articles, just to be more abrupt, and it's like, okay, Rotten Tomatoes rated it lower than the Star Wars Christmas episode. On Rotten
that's
Tomatoes,
sad.
the Star Wars Christmas special rated 21%, of people who watched it. 21, they rated it 21%. That was low. That was probably like the lowest of them all. And now, as of today, it has been beaten by the acolytes with 15%. I mean, this thing I'm reading is getting so much backlash, and I'm trying to wonder because, okay, I've watched episodes 1 through 4. So, and okay, story wise, I would give it a 4, maybe a 5 at best,
Same here. Same here.
because it's building to that crescendo. So you like I said, you have the other episodes left to go, but if this is how the best storytelling you have up to this point, it's like, of course, I would probably, like everybody else, I'm feeling the same thing. It's like, then you better hope you got something that make me go, ooh. Otherwise, I'm gonna be like, no,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
plain.
Now are they basing this Rotten Tomato thing over the 4 episodes so far, or just this one episode?
No, overall,
Okay.
all 4 episodes. Overall, this rating is 15%. And there's a lot of backlash to the point where I'm reading that, now they're looking at the blame game. Of course, there's always going to be the blame game. Who's at fault? So they're looking at, Filoni. And I'm like, whoa. Wait a second. Okay. Mandalorian. Okay. Ahsoka. Obi-Wan. Andor. All of them between John Favreau and Mike Filoni, all of them rank right up there.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think here, like, what is it that they hate about this? Okay,
I have an
now and
idea.
I might be reaching when I say this. I might be reaching when I say this, but I'm gonna look at it from a outside perspective in from when I'm looking at this. And again, when the Mandalorian fired Gina Carano, there was a huge backwash on that, and that was done by Miss Kennedy. She was the one that orchestrated it in the worst kind of way. Even now that the court proceedings that they have right now, because Gina did sue them, and actually, Elon Musk is paying the bill for that one. He's paying her lawyer's bill to fight against Disney, citing First Amendment, First Amendment violations as far as her freedom of speech is concerned. And so far, now they got a hearing. So I'm trying to wonder because from what I've read before, the Acolytes, was Jane Kennedy's baby. She's the one that brought this idea to light to bring forward and to have happen, because the storyline and that kind of mirrors it, because she's a twin herself. So and I'm kind of wondering whether or not you know
How far does she
if,
influence the story?
how much she influences the story, or this. I mean, look, she is the head of it, so I mean that goes without saying how much the influence she has. But I'm
Yeah.
trying to wonder if this is the fans' way of saying, okay, you know, you hurt one of our good characters. We try to tell you one way, now we're telling you another way. Because again, it's it's not bad, it's not great, but it's not bad either. I mean, 15%, okay, that's again, that's this is me from a story standpoint going over it. It has its moments, but it still needs more. It was like it needs that
Let me
time to
understand
go.
what did you think with the previous um, episode where the two ladies manifested the twins? I
Again,
think that came about too soon.
well, they have an was it an 8 episode arc, which again I look I mean, when a show used to be 22 episodes, you had a lot of room to build and make things happen. Now you're doing it in 8. So
No,
okay.
but what I mean is, I think it's too soon to bring a subject like that into the Star Wars universe.
So are you
I
saying
thought
so are you saying it's okay that as far as the subject matter of their creation, it would probably be it's a little
we have to be
much
careful.
for people to grab the grasp on it.
Right. I mean, Star Wars at one time was meant for kids and teenagers.
True.
Now you're pushing the envelope where it's no longer for
No,
kids and teenagers.
no. The
And
last the last jet
right,
was it the last Jedi show that they're opening the doors as far as inclusion is concerned. Not that I'm saying it's a
right.
bad thing. I'm just saying that they're opening the doors because they wanted a more broader audience.
They there's a meme I saw where the lady is in a hospital bed and the guy is standing next to her, and it says "Rest in peace, Star Wars." And
Mm.
I know what it meant by it. It pretty much meant that the Star Wars we have now is not the Star Wars we had years ago.
No.
I mean, you got with where when Sidious created basically Anakin. I mean, pretty much that should have been left alone for a while. We already know he had that influence. Now you're telling us that anybody can have that, anybody can do that. You know what I'm saying? The witches now can do that. I mean, for Sidious to do what he did, it took years.
Mm-hmm.
These two ladies, they did it in a matter of time, and in less time than that. That's what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying. I think that subject line should have been held over for another time or another. Uh,
Or later, like instead of an episode 3, it should have been an episode 4 or 6. So that
yes,
way, when you like if you took the two right now, 3 and 4, and you reversed it, okay, you already introduced now that Sith. You already laid out that groundwork. What happened? So you
yeah,
then
like
bring in that origin story, which then clarifies certain things. Now you say you brought the origin, but you kind of confused the crap out of me because all these people are dead. And I did realize one thing when I looked at it: the woman who bore life to them was not amongst that group of the dead witches that were lying down.
Interesting. So she could be the Sith behind everything.
Could be.
Could be.
Spoiler. Oh no, you don't want to hear
Yeah.
anymore, but I'm gonna tell it
Yeah.
all.
But I mean, it's. I don't want to cross a certain line, but they're playing with a dangerous game. The creators of Star Wars,
Yeah,
and if they did it like the way you said it, save it for later episodes, like in a memory, like the way they did in I think episode 2, where they showed the Jedi's how they formed and how they got. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
right,
that could, yeah, I could see that happening. That should have been done like
right.
that
I mean, again,
because they showed the Matrix lady again in those episodes. So
exactly.
and that was a memory, and that was a memory. So
hmm So again, Kate Moss was in the past, and here we are now in the future. But that's why I was surprised that she was killed off like that in the beginning. But of course, she appears in a past memory of what has happened, just to give the story what it is. But
yeah,
again, it's leaving more questions than answers, and the answers that they're giving are too little, or it's it's like I know that in certain like mystery movies or suspense thrillers, misdirection is always a key element used, so that way you think one thing and
but
then
then
you
go
go,
the other way.
oh,
Yeah,
I didn't see that one coming. But
yeah, yeah.
again, at that point, I was like, yeah, I kind of figured that. I mean, you hung him upside down, and between you and him, where did this guy come from? He's
But
also the
now
same
we put in.
as the guy you left hanging upside down. So it's not like
Yeah, but now you and I just agree that it could be the witch mother.
it could be.
So
But again, it's
which
when you
makes
go
more
through the
sense.
Easter eggs and you start reviewing and looking at it. But again, on a scale of 1 to 10, as far as the first 4 episodes are concerned, I'm going to give it between a 5 and a 6. But to me, it's like after this next episode, it needs to chalk it up now, because
Hmm.
you got to bring this home. You really got to bring this home. Got to bring it to the point where the fans who have given you a 15% are going to go, "Oh, shite, great! That's what I was waiting for. That is what Star Wars is, and this is what's going on, and everything's going on, and bang, mind blown." Right
Yeah,
now, I'm just like, fingers. Hello, hello. Hey, I know that already. Yeah, I saw that already. Yeah, you go ahead
yeah.
next one. Yeah, you want to do
They,
that?
they
It's
need
like,
to they need to bring back Star Wars to its basic form, where the lightsaber is the most powerful tool. The most, you know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
Lightsaber now is a toothpick. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
it's just a regular. You got rebels. You got stormtroopers that have these weapons that can, you know,
yeah,
won't do the sword won't do nothing.
yeah.
And then you got Beskar. Beskar. Now
Yes,
that's more believable. I can mess with that Beskar. But a stormtrooper having something to block a lightsaber, get out of here.
exactly. But there it is. I mean, it's
And I
again.
hated, I
It's,
hated the last Star Wars movie where what is it? Ben was able to give her a sword through the Jedi through the Force, or was it the other way?
oh yeah. When she put it
Yeah, that
behind
sucked.
herself, and then yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. You're right.
We,
You get the
we
great visual. I'm not going to take anything away as far as the visuals are concerned. The visual effects are great. I'm not, you get at least you get that realism that comes with it, and you go, oh damn, so great visuals. But the story is like, can I have more
yeah,
salt, please? I need some salt. I need some. Se me falta algo. Dame al adobo. Throw in some more free.
yeah,
Let this thing cook, bro, because oh, I mean, I want to say Debbie Downer, but I don't, because I'm trying to give it the chance it deserves. So that's why I'm saying 5 and 6 right now, and we'll see what happens. Again, it's like
yeah,
going
yeah.
to my other favorite franchise, my Star Trek. When people were talking at the panel and Trek Long Island, about the things they liked and disliked, they had a little more on the dislike side. of Discovery, and it's like, I got kind of got frustrated after a while, so I got up and I said, I have kind of a statement and a question to you all on the panel, and I said, Star Trek, the best thing about Star Trek in its whole is its characters, from the original series to the Next Generation to Deep Space Nine, Discovery, Enterprise, okay, Voyager, and then soon to come, was it Starfleet Academy? Characters. There's not one fan that loves a Star Trek show cannot say that they have a favorite character in each and every one of those shows. That's the beauty of storytelling, because you have characters you relate to. Each one of them have something that you connect with, and bang, that's your favorite character in that show. Well, even if it's animated from Mariner on Lower Decks, I mean, each one of these characters in all the shows have something that you connect to, and then it becomes endearing. For us as Star Wars, Luke, Chewie, Han, Leia, CP3O, R2D2, and then the list goes on. Now, the funniest thing, and I read it, that actually became the most endearing thing in Acolytes is the droid. The droid that she had in her pocket. Everybody, when they saw the droid, that was the one thing I kept on reading, was probably the most loved character in the show. And I'm like, what? I mean, yeah, great. Get granted, the droid is cute, and he's it's got its own character, just like any other droid in the series, from BB-8 to R2D2, CP3O, all the droids that have come out, they have a character, and that that makes you that's endearing to you, and you love that character. But when the show consists on the fact that the only thing endearing about that show is the friggin' droid, hello. Something's amiss here, and I'm hoping that next episode 5 and onward makes up for it, bro. Because it really, really needs to make up for it.
Because it needs an uplift.
It needs to. It's never going to be. It's never. I pretty much can guarantee it will never see the light of a second season unless Jane Kennedy wills it. Wills it to happen.
Yeah, and it had so much
promise.
The trailers look great for it.
Oh yeah, the fight sequence. I mean, like I said in the beginning when I first saw it, I thought of The Matrix. I was like, I was waiting for her to do that, the crane thing, and just crack that little girl. But no, I'm like, okay. So that trailer, that's is like the perfect example, like what we talked about before. A trailer gives you some of the good parts, and you get jazzed up until you go see the movie, and you go, what? Wait, that was in the that wasn't in the trailer. Oh,
yeah,
that sucks. So again, crossing my fingers and hoping that the Jedi Council up there somewhere is going to give us something. Because right now, I'm actually looking forward more to Ahsoka, especially after seeing the trailer on Ahsoka and the fact that the actor who's playing Luke Skywalker will be coming on board. And I'm like, what? Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. And then, of course, Mando and Grogu. Instead of the Mandalorian, it's now Mando and Grogu, which will lead into the film. Dude, that has my blood going.
Me personally, I 2025, Darth Vader. I'm waiting for that.
Yeah.
I didn't even see a trailer for it. I just saw the ad, and I'm just loving it.
Yeah, it's what, it's funny because when you look at between comic books and sci-fi and horrors, it's like for every hero there's a villain, and there's a villain that villain is the one that does it. Period. In Marvel it was Thanos. Like I said long before in the beginning of our show.
They better pick the kid that played Anakin to play Darth Vader. That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah,
And somebody asked me, I think it was one of my brothers yesterday, how are they gonna do that
Well,
with the
he
story
no, he already
Vader?
yeah, but
But
Hayden
Vader, from the time he turned dark to the time he gave balance to the Force, there's a story there.
yeah, I
But
mean
yeah,
in Ahsoka, right? Oh no, excuse me, in Obi-Wan, it was Hayden Christensen underneath the mask because there was one
yes,
point the mask and then half his face, you see Hayden underneath it. So it is
yeah,
him. And in Ahsoka, he's there again, and it's Hayden
yes,
as Anakin. So from what I've read, also there's a definite possibility of that, and I would love that because to me that brings things full circle. And yes, it would be a great story because I mean, before Thanos, before any other Joker and any other villain, we had Vader in the 70s. And like you said, the brother walks into the room, bang, 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 bang,
yeah,
bang.
yeah. It's over.
I mean, brother is like a wrestler with his own entrance music, and people are either pissing their pants or running in
Yeah,
fear. And I'm not talking about the ones in the movies. Even on the ones when they play jokes and the elevator opens and they see it here and people are like, oh, and put their hauling ass the other direction. He just
dude,
literally
I
one of
told
those
you
characters that has
last
that
year.
presence. Hmm?
Last year when I went to the Comic Con, bro, there was this dude that
Yes,
came out the elevator. Holy crap, bro! I got scared. I was like, whoa, whoa, because he had the two stormtroopers on the side, and he had his
exactly.
hand on his hips, the way he does. And the elevator was that small one in the back of the convention. I was like, holy moly!
It's one of those characters that actually in both real life or whatever, but his presence. I mean, come on. Even though the facial expressions are not there because it's just that head, but it's the body language that comes from it. It's the
Hmm.
ominous fact that when they have a close up and he's looking at you, it's like you can't even see his eyes, and you're just wondering what is it. Yo, it's like, no, you know what? Thank you, but no, thank you. You can have her. You can have her. Take her. She's all
Yeah,
yours, bro. No, no, no. Don't even need to raise your hand. I don't need to get choked. I got the message, bro. My boy. Bye, baby.
yeah.
That's it. It's one of those times like you ain't throwing it on your shoulder. I fuck. No, 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 no. Te
Mm,
joda. Si te cae, te joda. That's what's gonna happen. You better
mm,
catch up.
pretty much.
But that's the kind of
But
presence that character has. That even outside of the movies, that people if run into like and just have to see that costume and it's like, wow, damn. It's like okay, I'm getting a little nervous here. I got the sweats
yeah,
going on. I think it's it's stranger danger and it's time to run. Time to get out of here quickly. And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of that man's presence, and I look forward, if it is true, for that to happen. Really, really
yeah,
do. Uh-oh. I
yeah.
see a time vortex opening up. A time vortex ready to suck us into a commercial break. And we'll be right back with more Puerto Ricans. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Puerto Ricans. I'm Mo.
Still Meals on Wheels.
Lou. Oh, I'm telling you, to this day, that what we were talking about before with Vader, to this day, I'm still like, I shake, bro, because that dude had me in a trance. He had me locked. I couldn't eat my cookie. You understand that? The cookie was sacred. Look at he did. Oh, I still get shakes from that moment. He put the and I was frozen, bastard. I tell you. Oh, I'll never forget that, bro. That's something you just don't forget. And you're right. He had that presence, bro. It's scary. I
Yeah,
had to go.
man.
I had to go to another borough to enjoy my cookie. I was in Brooklyn. I went back to the Bronx. Not talking about
Mhm.
that. Not talking about that. And I ate my cookie. But yeah, I look forward. I mean, I know it's a year away, but I'm just excited of the idea of them doing that kind of story. I
The Vader
mean,
story.
it needs. You know, it's like it's one of those things that needs. It needs to be brought to light. It needs an origin. I mean,
But
yeah,
I
we
hope
can love and hate them, but I mean, I don't know what more it could be done, but to understand, I mean, maybe either understand them more. I don't know, but I do say this: one of the baddest characters in Star Wars is getting his origin story. I look forward to seeing what they're going to put together.
yeah, I just hope they don't mess up the lore because
Mm-hmm.
for a minute there, the Vader was looked on as a comedy thing with all these commercials and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And now when Rogue One came out, they made him serious again. So
Serious.
I'm really, yeah. So a major character again. So
Yes.
I'm really hoping they
Yeah.
do a good job with the
Even in
storyline.
Anakin, it would be nice if
Yes.
they bring that he was a good guy first. True. I mean, yes. I mean, I mean, even though in the movies it was just like it had its moments and slow transitions, but yes, to see a little more of how Anakin led more towards it, not just that one fateful moment when he cut off Mace Windu's hand. I'm talking about boom at that very moment when he was a Jedi and then transformed, and then from that point forward, instead of just highlights, boom, walking into a room without his uniform or whatever, as Vader, but it's Anakin, but as Vader, and then he's just clearing the room the same way Vader would. I would love to see that because it's like when you see it as Vader, you just go, damn. But then if you saw him as Anakin, just in the same way that Luke did when he cleared out all the robots in the Mandalorian, he's showing off and showing his power of and his mastery of the Force. Same way with Anakin at that very beginning, before his battle with Obi-Wan, what he did. Show a scene of that. Show a scene of
And
like many guys trying to stop him, and then boom, he just laid
if
them
they
out.
do that, they need to. If they're really serious about bringing Vader back with a good storyline, they need to bring back Natalie Portman in a memory scene or something.
Yeah.
They really need to bring her back.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
mean, his road to the dark side fell. I mean, what was led to the fact that he went outside the order and fell in love.
Hmm.
That was like a Carlo, no, and he's like, no, I want that Gucci, man, that's mine, and that's it, bro. You got it. But
Yeah.
of course, all the things that came with it after the fact, the emotions that he wasn't ready to handle, of being in love and growing up, all those growing pains, being a young man and having to deal with these feelings, and then at the same time being that powerful. Noticing that the power changes in him because of his feelings. Yeah, like I said, it's a nice, interesting aspect of seeing how a hero turns into a villain.
Yeah.
It's like because
Yeah.
he was being a hero. I mean, even when you look at the animated Clone Wars, I mean, until he turned, he was a hero. And he
Hmm.
was teaching Ahsoka everything he knew on how to be, a hero, a Jedi Knight, which he was. But then, like she said, the best of us have fallen, and he was the best of them, and he fell, and he
Yep.
fell hard. I mean, from what he was to what he became. Ooh. Oh yeah, the betrayal, the love, and the friendship to show that he was a regular person. Yes, that is important. It is true. That is important because it gives credence to why he became the way he became. I mean, they're doing something like that in a Star Wars animated feature, and they
Right.
Count Dooku became Count Dooku. We went from a Jedi Knight to, to dark Sith.
That was a cool episode. I love that episode.
Right. So something similar to that, because yeah, there has to be a human aspect to it. You want to see the human aspect of his transformation. How he went thinking one way and all of a sudden went the other. So you
Yeah.
want to see that human aspect, because that's something we can relate to. There's a time where it's at some person's life where, whether they meant to or not, they were thinking something that, even in their moral core knew was wrong, but they felt it a certain way. And that's human. I'm not saying, not taking it away from anybody. That's human. Where you take it next, that tells the story and the transition to Vader. Yeah, I would love to see
Hmm.
that sort of thing, because that kind of storytelling done, like, oh my God, my hairs are standing. That's just getting me all excited with the idea of seeing that and just going, wow. It's
Yeah.
like in Trek, you have, like, for instance, for the Next Generation Data, he's the perfect example of Pinocchio. The wooden boy that wants to become a real boy. So his aspirations to become human, and a lot of his storylines, and some that were like heart wrenching, to say the least. Like when he did his daughter, when he created his daughter Lull, and that whole transition of him being a parent, yet emotionless, but still he was able to. He felt something. It was there, and she became self-aware and had feelings. So he created something that was beyond his imagination, but though short-lived, he took her engrams and put it into his own, and he'll never forget her. I mean, and then when you watch her pass, I'm not gonna lie, I was misty-eyed about it. That thing I felt it here. That, even though they were androids, but she experienced the human condition, and it became too much for her programming, and then she
Well,
died of
Data was the one that had the perfect family. He had a mother, a father, a daughter, brothers. Because his
it.
mother was there too.
Oh, wait, let's not say perfect, okay? Lore and B4 are not exactly perfect brothers, okay?
Typical
One's an
brothers
idiot.
relationship.
But true. I mean, there's always an idiot in the family, and then there's one that's
Yeah.
just a black sheep, period. That's the black
Yeah.
sheep. That's Lore, and B4 was, well, yeah, he was before. He was
Yeah.
before. But you're right, but he wasn't perfect. But he did have a family. It is true. And
He
then
had
to evolve to what he is now, is synthetic with feelings and emotions. And like when he was like, oh, that's new. It's like the body is synthetic, but he started feeling like the age setting in, like it was already programmed for that. So it was interesting. It's like Pinocchio finally became a real live boy, or the real
hmm
life man, to be exact. That's a great example of the human condition and transitioning from the beginning of what was to what is now. No different with Anakin. Pretty much even can be said, and I know I read it once in a graphic novel. Was it not Thanos wins, not the Thanos imperative? No, it had to do with the cosmic Ghost Rider going back into time and saying, well, if I went back into time and got Thanos as a baby and say I raised him, he would be not the destroyer of worlds. Well, you know, he didn't become the destroyer of worlds, but he did transition to something better than what he was as the original Mad Titan. And when I say Mad Titan, because of course, he in the comic books, he was always appeasing one woman, and that's the only woman that he loves, which is death. He will commit all forms of mass genocide in order to do that. But again,
There was
he
another.
never came across her. But when he did, love at first sight. The human condition, love at first
Another.
sight, could never give up on her.
There was another storyline like that where the new X Force, Deadpool's involved. and they went and they had to take baby. They wanted to kill pretty much baby
Mm-hmm.
Thanos, and one of them raises the question: how do we kill something that hasn't happened yet?
Right.
He doesn't know what he's gonna do. It's like you going back in time and you're gonna kill Hitler, but now you don't know if you know he don't know what he's gonna become.
Right.
You don't know that because
No.
Hitler was, and I'm sorry to say this, Hitler to me was a genius. He came 95% close to ruling the world. He was a genius. All little people are geniuses because look at Napoleon. He too in his time he did his thing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're
Yeah.
not mad. They had a plan, and they executed the plan in such a way that was meticulous,
Now I want to
flawless,
make a correction. I want to make a
and
correction.
brilliant. Hmm?
He Hitler was a genius. I'm not saying in the terms of what he did and killed all those hundreds of thousands of people, but he was politically a genius.
Yeah, that's what I meant. He had a plan. He had a
Yeah.
plan, and it was meticulous. Even though it was, how would I say it, genocidal in its conception, but the plan consisted of his vision of what he saw that was supposed to be the perfect race, the human
Now,
perfect human race.
do you think it was his vision? Because there was a story that I read somewhere, True Life, where he actually was pen pals with a little little Jewish girl, and they would write back and forth, and he grew attached to her. They would write back and forth. They actually met. There's a picture of her on his lap, and they're joking around or whatever. And the other German generals didn't like that, and all of a sudden the little girl disappears. So now the question is, was it all his idea, or was there other people influencing him to do what he wanted?
Well, that's the thing. You see, he became a symbol,
Hmm.
and of course, through all fault of his own, when he created, his persona of Hitler, his ideals, and what he wanted, followers again, you know, they follow his word. And but the thing is, when they follow his word, they have their own interpretations of what they think is that word. It's
Yeah,
like, and that's why things happen the way it did. I wouldn't be surprised. His followers decided, you know what? Yeah, that can't be true because behind every man that tried to destroy the world, there is a woman in his ear.
very true.
Very true. Very
There
true.
even yeah, and not only in destroying the world, but just I mean, again, we're moving far away from the topic of Rican, but in the Bible, you have women that influence these men to do certain things.
Yeah.
You had
But remember,
was
in great storytelling, when it comes to comics, when it comes to movies or whatever, art imitates life. So
yes,
yeah, it's not really far removed because when you look at it, the human element has to be there. Just to coin a phrase that I remember seeing on a different podcast where Kevin Smith was a part of it, and he has said he had just finished watching Godzilla minus one, and it was the very first time that he actually paid attention to the human storyline. It's like, yeah, the monster. But the human storyline had a story to tell that was so compelling that you sit there and then you don't care if you're reading the damn thing, even though you would prefer it as dub, but reading it and seeing, what these people are going through, what this man is putting himself through, and then the transition and the changes and the heartache that follows, you go, damn. I think normally, like, remember what you said before? It's like normally when you watch a Godzilla, like, you monsters, they're fighting. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, people are talking. We'll wait for them to finish. Monsters, yeah. This one was different. This one's like, oh, wow. Oh, man. Oh, there's Godzilla. Oh, and that's the kind of reaction you get.
Okay.
The human condition, you can connect and relate to it, and then you start feeling it. When you start feeling it, to me, that's brilliant storytelling, because now, even though you may have not experienced that ever in your life, but you can understand and feel where that person is coming from, man or woman, child. You could feel it, because that's the condition. As we as humans, we're gonna feel. We're gonna feel that somebody gets killed, someone you love gets blasted out of. Oh my God! And then the pain that follows. You gotta be kidding me. That's why they
That
don't
is
use
definitely.
Latino, because we will not try to save them. We just got to get new ones. That was complaining too much anyway. Yeah, that's true. It's like, no, no, está bien, está bien. No, no. She was a terrible cook anyway. That's okay. I find me another one to cook better.
But to bring it a little bit home again,
Mm-hmm.
Thanos. I think I said this in the past. I agreed with him in terms of exterminating half the population throughout the universe, and he did it. That's like if me and you, okay, I'm gonna get Mo. I'm sorry, you gotta go. I feel bad. Click, you're gone. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna feel bad because you're my friend and everything. And but he did it without remorse. He just said,
Yeah.
"That's just." I totally agree with him. He did it without
This,
thinking.
that's the cinematic version, which again, we talk the human condition, and you look at this villain
Yeah,
and what he's doing, and then you understand his purpose because of what he went through. Okay, you get that, because the opposite, which is him doing this so that he could appease or win the affections of Lady Death, that's not going to swallow too well. It's
yeah,
like the second person in Trek that follows in that same thing is Khan Noonien Singh from the episode Space Seed, when they were talking about him and what happened in the eugenics wars, and he said, "We provide the world order," and that's why he got, because he's with the Supermen. Somehow the government created Supermen. These Supermen had a task, which was to be the perfect soldier to end all wars, but something else happened. In their genius intellect, they also decided, you know what? The world needs order, and we will give it to them. And we will do it with an iron fist, but we will bring peace to this planet one way or the other. And that's, of
yeah,
course, that's when, they managed to stop him, boom, and put him away. Yeah. The Red Skull was the same as well. It's like for every mad, power hungry, I want to say power hungry, for every mad genius who thinks of world domination, of course, in their minds, peace is what they're trying to commit, and to try and save a world. But you know, was it good ideas but bad intentions? It's a good idea, yeah. Trying to reduce the population, but genocide, that's kind of a bad idea. You know, put more commercials that say, "Just say no, no hold on, no me
yeah,
toca, don't come near me, go away. Here's Johnson and Johnson and a dirty magazine, go away," that sort of thing. But mass genocide, no, 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 no. I mean, come on now. And again, each person that tries to control the world in a, what they call the new world order, especially with I'm saying this now, with Captain America, the fourth one coming up, New World Order, and I'm thinking, yeah, it's like that. Somebody is somewhere in command saying, this is how we're going to take over. This is how we're going to bring peace, and we're going to do it this way. Again, now you become a symbol. People that follow are going to follow you blindly. And then those that follow blindly do one thing, but then those who follow blindly also tend to create their own ideology of what you supposedly said when you didn't say it. Hence why that girl disappeared. Because if he was getting emotionally attached, where would be the logic if not saying that maybe he kind of rethinks his ways because of that connection? So again, that's not his teachings. So the followers decided, goodbye. You need to go back to the way you are, because this is what we followed you for, not this. And that's,
Hmm.
and plain and truth, that's, that's what the human condition is. It's great storytelling that we can relate to, understand, feel good, bad, mad, angry, heartbroken. That's great storytelling. That's great storytelling. So that's why I like between a 5 and a 6 so far. It's not great storytelling, The Acolytes, but it needs work. Now, House of the Dragon, that is great storytelling because I can't tell. It's like I'm like with one escándalo after the next escándalo, and then the next escándalo. It's like, damn.
What are you? Which season are
It's
you
like
watching?
I think I'm at a family cookout with tanto escándalos that are going on. It's
Which
like
season you watching?
I'm actually episode 7 of season 1, so getting ready to finish up so I can start watching episodes. I think what 1 or 2, or maybe up to episode 3 now. I think they are in season
Two.
2. But it's like, wow, like I feel like I'm in a family cookout, bro. Did you
Yeah.
hear about it?
Game of Thrones.
Huh?
Game of Thrones was the schmack, bro. Game of Thrones. That's up there with Lord of the Rings. Game
That's
of
up there.
Thrones.
That's up there. But Draco was always my favorite character, bro. And oh my god, Draco was my favorite, bro. And that brother, you cross again, another Vader. You cross him, you're getting worse than a Colombian necktie, bro. I think he invented that shit. Yeah, I said it. I saw the eyebrows. There you go. I said it. Shite. Oh my god,
Damn.
I did
And
that,
here
bro.
I'm thinking, 8 minutes, we're almost done, and you didn't curse, and bang, here it is.
Oh, bro, it's like, come on, Jason Momoa, man. It's like, and him as Draco, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
But, but at the same time, they showed the other side, which was love and passion. Because in the very beginning, he was more of a brute, but
Hmm.
because of her, she was able to bring out the actual, I won't say softer side, but more gentle, loving side of him that, you know, not changed him so much because he was still brutal when it came to anybody dealing with him fighting wise. I mean, that's why they had to come in all angles at this brother. You just couldn't take him on one. No way.
No.
No. But the thing is, I got to enjoy when they were bringing out that part where they were showing the love and passion that he had for his wife, and that again, the human condition that, it's like, even though he's a brute, but he's a warrior, but there's another side to him. The man that loves this woman. And she was able to bring that out of him. And that was also very touching to watch. Messed up that he had to die, because I was like, yo, I was not loving that, bro. Not loving that, bro. Oh,
People, that's what I liked about Lord of the Rings. People you didn't expect to die died.
right?
I mean, not Lord of the Rings. I'm sorry, Game of Thrones. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. And even
Game
in
of
Lord
Thrones.
of the
Yeah.
Rings, it's like you're waiting for Smeagol to finally get his ending, so him and his precious could wind up in the volcano. I was like waiting for that. Coño. It's
Yes.
like three movies later, and God knows 6 hours after. I was like, coño, bueno, die. But again, that's the beautiful thing about storytelling. When it comes to characters, you can be endeared to one, or you can hate the hell out of another, and you're like, dude, just
I
die.
believe. I believe as a director writer, the way the Lord of the Rings director writer,
Mm-hmm.
he really loved the characters, and that showed in the
Yes, it did.
movies.
Hugely,
Yeah.
hugely. You see, when they
Yes.
talk about the brotherhood of men, they were not just talking about man as far as the human sides are concerned, but the dwarfs and all the
Hmm.
others, the Shire, all together in unison, fighting a common enemy to
Yeah.
end this enemy. So yeah, the brotherhood. Oh my God, it's like, forget about it. I can watch that forever and ever and never get tired of it. And I still will always love that phrase from Gandalf the Grey: "You shall not pass." And he just
Hmm.
ended it, bro.
Yes.
Then he became Gandalf the Grey to Gandalf the White. I was
I
like, no.
know.
It's like, wait, yo, the beard didn't change, but the outfit did.
No, he just brushed his hair, if you ask me.
Yeah, they probably had it in the cleaners, and you just say, "Hey, look, it's not great. We
Yeah,
cleaned it all out. Here you go."
exactly.
But yeah,
And
again,
yeah, and
another storytelling that's just great in itself with the characters. Even Harry Potter. I mean, I don't, I don't care what anyone says. After watching all the movies, even if I didn't read all the books, my daughters read all the books. Oh my God, some of them are like a Bible and a half. But
yes, I know.
when you see the movies, you could see again the character interaction, the human condition, and everything that falls into place after that. And you're watching these kids grow up, and then you're falling for them. You know, you love Weasley, you love Harry, and and all the other characters that follow. Dumbledore. I mean, all of them have endeared to us, and you don't forget them. You just don't.
Yeah,
That's the beautiful. That's the beauty of great storytelling. Again, I can never get enough of it. It's like, to me, if it doesn't have that, it's not worth watching. It's really not worth
no,
watching. It doesn't, because then it's like you're sitting there just drooling, like, when's something gonna happen, bro? It's like, go away. Give me something else. Otherwise, it's like, why even? Why? It's like there are movies that we could say that, oh, they didn't spend money on that. They did. They did. They did
yeah,
a lot, and that's why they call them B movies. But there have been a B movie or two that have caught you by surprise and go, "Ooh, that had a good story. That one I liked."
yes.
And then there were others. It's like you just want to go up to the director if you see him and kick him right in the freaking nuts. Just kick him in the
Uh,
nuts. What the hell?
one of those movies. One of those movies is the Meg first one. I thought it was gonna be a piece of crap. I thought I was like, yo, this thing is better than what I thought it would be.
True.
You
I
know?
have to admit that. I thought it was going to be like, one of those, okay, going to be a cheesy action film with about a,
Mm,
prehistoric giant shark. But it had its jumps, it had its moments, and Statham was Statham. But everybody else, you had the comic reliefs, and then the oh shite moments, like, oh my God, that
yeah,
happened.
yeah.
You're just sitting there going,
That's
oh, oh
now
yeah.
the second movie. Yeah.
Well, it was not
Mm,
more of an action film. It didn't have as much of what we liked in the first, but it was more action based. I
yeah.
kind of look at that one as just an action film. So you just go, okay, great action, nice. Okay, great visual effects. Move on.
And it's
That's
crazy
it.
because the writer to that to the novels, he's a great storyteller of sharks, and he's got a
Mhm.
couple of them that just came out based on the Loch Ness. I'm waiting for them to drop one of those as a movie or
Oh,
TV
yeah.
show.
Nothing like
You
a
know?
great monster film. In horror,
Yeah.
I love me a good monster film. I think there's one in particular that was like a murder mystery, as well as a great sci-fi monster film. My personal favorite, The Relic. The Relic.
That was great.
Was it? Was it not?
Oh my God! I
Oh
still,
my
yeah,
God. Funny in certain moments, also terrifying in others. And then came the holy shite moment when you figure out what
yeah,
it really is, and you just go, oh no. And then bam,
yes,
here comes the beast, bro. And the
yes,
effects on it were beautiful, but the storytelling
yes.
even better. And I'll be honest, it's not like they had like a lister, a listed super stars in this film. I mean, you had
No,
some